Congressman Brandon Gill confronted the director of the National Museum of American History for injecting these far-left anti-American politics into the museum. Take a look.
Is it important to be polite?
Excuse me, sir?
Is it important to be polite?
Yes, sir.
It's also interesting because the same mass action toolkit that your organization has been promoting references politeness as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture. Ma'am, are you a white supremacist?
No, sir.
You're not. Can you help me square why your organization says that being polite is part of being a white supremacist?
I'm not exactly familiar with that passage of the Mass Action Toolkit, which is not
I can show you the
one that we
passage. It's right
developed.
here.
I don't, pardon me?
I said I just read you the passage from it.
You honestly can't make it up. There's a part of this, it's hilarious. There's another part that's chilling. Now, the question tonight, where are all the Democrats that are willing to stand up in defense of our country, our Constitution, our value system? Of course, crickets. Now, the core of their party now wants to abolish the Senate and the presidency, private business. They want to open the borders, empty the prisons, defund the police, abolish ICE, and give themselves power over your health care, your jobs, even your kids. In other words, they want to destroy the country that we grew up in, the greatest wealth-creating system in the history of mankind, using the Democratic Party as a vehicle. They seem to be winning. And yet there's little public outrage from other Democrats. Even former Obama advisor Van Jones, who's pretty radical left himself, is becoming alarmed. Take a look.
This stuff is going too far. I am a progressive Democrat. You want to talk about prison reform? I've done it as well as anybody, Republican Democrats in the South with Trump. I've done prison reform. I never said have no prisons. Where are you going to put the Klan? I've done police reform. I never said no police. Where are you going to put the pedophiles? Who's going to grab the pedophiles? This stuff is going too far. I've been waiting my whole life to see a youth movement do what it's doing. But it's being hijacked by people who are putting in nutty ideas supporting terrorists, nutty ideas saying that we don't need cops in prison. We can't deport anybody even if they rape somebody. Who said this? Chevalier.
All right, so what is next for this radicalized Democratic Socialist Communist Party? And how can Americans confront this socialist radical movement before it picks up even more momentum? Here with more is Texas Congressman Brandon Gill. You know, I got to be honest, you're having a lot of these viral moments. I got to give you credit. Are you polite, ma'am? Yes, I'd like to consider myself polite. Are you a white nationalist? And because I have it right here in your charter. You really can't make it up. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. What was your reaction to that?
You know, I don't know either. But what I will tell you is that we have gone so long letting the left say the most crazy, outlandish things, saying that you are a white supremacist if you're polite, or that being on time, being objective are evidences of white culture. I mean, these things are genuinely insane and objectively offensive, I think, to a lot of Americans. And I think it's time that we call the left out on this stuff and put them on the spot and make them answer for this. Make them explain to the American people what they really mean whenever they say that being polite is somehow evidence of white supremacy. And that's what we tried to do there.
What do you make of the deafening silence? If there are moderates left in the party besides John Fetterman, what do you make of the deafening silence of other Democrats? I think they're scared to death. They're scared of Bernie. They're scared of Pocahontas, who just endorsed El Sayed, the lunatic in Michigan. They're scared of Mamdani. They're scared of AOC, the squad. I just think if they are moderate, they will never let them know they're moderate. Is that an accurate assessment on your view?
I think that's right, and I think that they realize the direction that their party is going. I think your average rank-and-file Democrat in the House right now recognizes that the Democratic Socialists are no longer the fringe in their party. That is the mainstream. That's where their base is. And they're not going to speak out against that because they don't want the backlash from their base. But, you know, it's really rich whenever you have these relative moderates. Many of these are still far left Democrats, but relative moderates complaining about the direction that their party is going, whenever this is the direction they put their party on. This is the trajectory they put their party on. If you're going to spend all of your time bashing capitalism, you should expect the younger Democrats who listen to that to become socialists. If you're going to spend all your time bashing the police like the Democrats have done, expect younger Democrats to support defunding the police. If you're going to spend all your time bashing America as a white supremacist country, you should expect younger Democrats to hate that country and want to abolish its institutions like the Senate. So what we're seeing is the Democrats are reaping what they've been sowing for so long.
All right, so defund, dismantle, open borders, cradle to grave, and that would be the new Green Deal society. You know, the problem is all of this has been tried all across the globe. Whatever name, form, manifestation, I say it all the time, it fails every time. You have unfulfilled promises. Then, of course, you have more poverty than when you started. Then after that, you calculate how much of your personal freedom you gave up in the name of false security. And then you've emboldened and empowered a group of people to have control over every aspect of your life, except they're not fulfilling any promises. That's where they want to take the country. Do you see they have a shot at convincing the American people, we're going to steal from this group of people if you give us power, and we're going to give it to that group of people, and then you have to be beholden to us?
Well, I think most Americans recognize, first of all, that, to your point, communism is an ideology that has tried and failed multiple times throughout history and has created more misery than any single ideology ever invented. Hundreds of millions of people who have died in the name of communism. But I also think that most Americans recognize that the policy prescriptions that the Democrats are putting forward are not only insane, but those are the very things that are putting America in a difficult position right now. In other words, it is the Democrats who is taking away the birthright of our children by flooding our country with illegal aliens who are taking jobs, who are flooding our medical system, who are reducing the quality of our educational system, who are on welfare that we are paying for. These are the policies that Democrats have been supporting. Reckless spending that's driving up inflation, a welfare state that's cramping the private sector. That's the Democrat Party, and I think most Americans recognize that and see the pain that it's caused to us.
Yeah. All right. It was really a great moment on Capitol Hill for you today. Congressman Gill, thank you. All right. Thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.